So I just want to do a real quick video on how to determine how many, if you're planting fruit trees, how many to determine, I can't talk today, how to determine how many to plant. So this is a mature apple tree. This is a semi-dwarf towards the front of our property. I'm not actually sure how old this tree is. It produces like crazy. Last year we got easily 4 bushels of 4 bushels of apples off this tree. Now, from the research I've done, they say that an average yield for an apple tree is 1 bushel. I don't think that takes into consideration mature trees, but we'll go with the 1 bushel calculation for the purposes of this video. So a bushel weighs technically 48 pounds. I'm just going to round it up to 50 to make a nice even number. So it really depends on what your goals are. I like to can at least 50 quarts of apples, apple pie filling per year, which is going to 1 quart is going to hold about 2 to 2.5 pounds of apple slices. So basically a bushel of apples is going to yield you about 25 quarts of prepared apple pie filling. And the same goes with peaches. So if you're planning on canning peach slices, you're going to want, if you want to can 20 quarts of peaches, you're going to need 40 pounds of peaches. So how many trees you plant really depends on what kind of yield you want to get. We have 2 peach trees in the ground right now. I would like to plant 4 to 5 more because we love peaches. So I would love to put away 100 quarts of peaches every fall. That would just be a goal of mine. So if you're going to do 2 pounds of peaches per quart, that's 100 pounds. Average bushel of average yield of 1 bushel per tree, you're looking at 2 trees. If I want to do 100 quarts of peaches, that would be 200 pounds of peaches. So that would be 4 bushels. So if you're using the calculation of an average of 1 bushel per tree, and you want to do 100 quarts of peaches, then you're going to need 4 trees. I do believe that once the trees are nice and mature, you're going to probably get more than 1 bushel. I know a friend of mine has a peach tree that there's probably 2 bushels that fall to the ground that get wasted on top of the ones that they harvest. So I'm going by 1 bushel per tree as a very conservative estimate, but that's a good thing to do, conserve or estimate on the low side. So we love peaches, we love apples. I'm really excited about plums. I used to love plums as a kid and I just kind of got away from them, but we've got 5 plum trees in the ground. So I think we're good on plum trees, but we do want to put some more peaches, some more peach trees and some more apple trees in the ground this year. So when we were planting our garden, I basically just did a quick Google search on the types of tomatoes we were growing. So one of them are the Romas. Romas are very good for canning and making pasta sauce. So I just basically did a quick Google search on average yield for a Roma tomato plant, and I want to say it was 20 pounds. I might be off on that. So I basically calculated how many, look at all the bees. The bees are busy pollinating. Maybe you can't see them. Anyways, there's bees all over the peach trees. So when I plan our garden, I figure on how much we want to harvest for ourselves. And then in our case, we are going to be stocking our produce market, our farm market. And so we're planting enough to provide for our needs and also to stock our farm market. So the average household is going to do well with 4 to 5 tomato plants, depending on how much you want to can. And I mentioned in the last video, if you're just a casual user, if you want to grow a few tomatoes for sandwiches and you don't plan on preserving and storing, then really a couple tomato plants is going to give you plenty of tomatoes. We can a lot. and we're gonna plan on canning probably a lot more this year. We didn't get to put away a whole lot last fall. It was a terrible growing season. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of do a quick video on how we determine how many fruit trees to put in. And then my philosophy is always and has always been, anything extra we are willing to share. We've always kind of had that anything we have in excess, we want to put out there to help someone who may not be as fortunate. So that's kind of how we plan our garden and how we plan on how many fruit trees to put in and so on and so forth. So I hope that was helpful.